Well, Los Angeles has, of course, been hit by devastating wildfires before, but weather experts say that it's being hit by the most destructive windstorm in decades, with winds of between 80 and 100 miles an hour. So how much of a role has climate change played in this extreme weather? Here's our climate editor, Justin Rowlatt.
Still images show the fury and the horror of the fires engulfing parts of California. Wildfires are a year-round threat in the state, but this year it experienced its hottest summer on record. We know climate change is making the kind of hot, dry weather California has experienced in recent months more likely. And scientists say that is increasing the number of what are known as fire weather days. Now, this graph shows the increase in the area burnt by fires in the US since 1983. As you can see, it appears to have been growing steadily over the years. And there's another factor this year. The winter rains that normally reduce the fire risk in California didn't come. In fact, downtown Los Angeles has only received 0.16 inches of rain since October. That is more than 4 inches below average. The California Governor, Gavin Newsom, believes the pattern of wildfires is changing.
We were here not too long ago, the Franklin fire. A few weeks prior to that, the Mountain fire. November, December, now January. There's no fire season, it's fire year, it's year round.
And look how the wind has been blowing the fires. These Santa Ana, or devil winds as they're sometimes called, are a normal part of California weather, caused by cool, dry air blowing from the interior of the state to the coast. Climate change doesn't appear to have altered the pattern of the Santa Ana winds, but as our world warms, the dangerous combination of strong winds with very dry vegetation is becoming more likely. And just look at the scenes on the other side of the country. The East Coast and parts of central US are experiencing icy, cold weather and snowstorms that have killed 5 people and left 60 million under extreme weather warnings. The contrast could hardly be more stark. Justin Rowlatt, BBC News.
Our correspondent Helena Humphreys is in Hollywood and joins us now. Helena, it's easy to think that a wildfire is a rural phenomenon, but this is happening in urban areas.
It absolutely is, and I think when you speak to people from Southern California, they'll tell you that they are used to seasonal wildfires. That isn't something that is new here, but what is new is the scale of what we're seeing. These flames, as you say, reaching urban areas right now. That Pacific Palisades fire, for example, is unprecedented in LA history, and that is because, as Justin was pointing out, these weather patterns are changing, exacerbated by climate change. If you take a look at the conditions here on the ground in January, it's expected to be the wet season. Instead, very little rain in the past 8 months. The ground here is tinder dry, and then add to that the topography, of course, of LA. Just think of the Hollywood Hills, and essentially you have these canyon-like environments fanned by these hurricane winds of up to 100 miles per hour, and as you can see, that kind of creates a chimney-like effect, and that is what people have been dealing with on the ground. But really the scale of this is unprecedented, and then on top of that, the fact that you haven't had that water means that fire hydrants, the likes of which you find on the street here, are seeing very low levels. So some fire crews have been trying to use that to hose out the flames, only to find sometimes that they have been running dry. Also civilian planes going up attempting to do water drops, including in the Hollywood Hills here behind me, and they have found that that thick smoke is also causing turbulence, poor visibility, making fighting these flames, these blazes, all the more difficult.
How much warning are people getting that they've got to leave their homes? I'm just thinking about what could they possibly salvage to take with them?
Well, they can salvage very little. People I've been speaking to here in the heart of LA, and places like Sunset Boulevard, appear dazed, confused. They are standing there with pet carriers, with their dogs. They're wearing their flip-flops, carrier bags just filled with the bare essentials. They've had to just grab a bag and go. That has been the message. Authorities are saying this is not a drill. If you are told to evacuate, you have to get out. Over 100,000 people have already left. We know that there have been 5 fatalities, people who didn't necessarily get out on time, although the cause of death has yet to be confirmed. But yes, people are paying attention to the media. They've got an app on their phone for these warnings. As we arrived, were in the area of Hollywood where that blaze had sprung up, that Sunset Fire. We also received the alert on our phone saying that we had to leave that area. So that is what people are encountering right now. And I think they're very much on edge. They're looking at the horizon just a few hours ago, orange haze on that horizon coming towards them. And they're feeling very nervous. Even if President Biden says that they'll have all the resources that they need to fight this fire and to rebuild, I think they just don't know what could come in the hours ahead.
Helena, for the moment, thank you very much. Helena Humphrey.